Hello and welcome, dear students. In today's lesson, this is a series of grammar in use. In today's lesson, we are going to explore the past continuous tense. Requesting you to grab a pen and a notepad to take down the sentence pointers. And as we continue, you will be expected to construct sentences. So let us dive in and begin with the past continuous tense. The past continuous tense, first let us understand what are past continuous tense, and then we will understand how it is used, and then we will also show a comparison with simple past tense as well towards the end of the video. Let us begin with the past continuous tense. The past continuous tense is used in English to talk about actions or events that were in progress at some time in the past. Remember that you are always in the present zone on a timeline, and when you're talking about the past tense, the action has already taken place in a particular fixed time zone, and we are considering one such action that continued in the past. When an action has continued in the past, we used past continuous tense. Now let us see how it is formed. It is formed with was or were with the present participle. Now this is very important to make a note that from the auxiliaries we take only was and were. We don't take is, we don't take are. Those are present tenses. So we take was and were depending on our subject, and along with that the verb is taken in the present participle form. What is present participle? The root form of the verb with ing added to it. That is called a present participle. Now let us look at the first pointer for present continuous tense. English uses the past continuous to talk about an ongoing action that were in progress at a certain time in the past. This we have understood, that in the past, at a certain time, the action continued for certain duration. Let us see. Now, simple past we'll see over here shows the action that happened once it is now finished. I knocked on your door at noon, but you weren't at home. What were you doing? Now, you doing is actually continuous tense. Now let us see this. I knocked is simple past tense. Now let us see the past continuous tense. The past continuous tense shows the action that went on for some time but is now finished. That means the action continued in the past, but in the present zone it is not there anymore. That is the reason it is called past, and because the action continued in the past, it is known as the past continuous tense. Say for example, we are in the present zone and we are talking about something that happened in the past. I was eating, so the eating continued from 11:30 to 12 p.m., then 12:30. Okay, I was eating lunch with a friend. So was is an auxiliary, and present participle is eating. So was eating shows past continuous tense. Now past continuous describes an action that continued in the past and finished in the past. Let us proceed. Let us see a few examples of past continuous tense. This time last week we were hiking in Peru. Were is the auxiliary and hiking is the verb. So this shows past continuous tense. He didn't go out because he was working late. He is the subject, was is the auxiliary, and working is the main verb with ing form, which we know as present participle. So together it is past participle. Past continuous tense, past continuous tense. Was and the verb with ing is known as past continuous tense. When I lost my camera, we were swimming in the sea. Were is the auxiliary and swimming ing, that shows action that continued in the past, so that is past continuous tense. The last time I saw him, he was washing his car. Was is the auxiliary, and washing, that is verb, main verb with ing form, shows an action that continued in the past, so it is past continuous tense. Let us proceed and look at the structure, how it is formed. Was and were followed by the present participle forms the past continuous tense. So we have understood so far that there is a subject in the sentence, then we have was or were depending on the subject, and then we have the verb with ing form, and then the rest of the sentence. For example, we have was over. The sentence is I was eating lunch with a friend. Over here, was is used because the subject is I. If the subject was, if we change the subject to they were eating lunch with a friend. Now, verb is definitely in the ing is added to the main verb. We have understood that also so far. So, with the understanding of the structure, let us proceed to the next part. Let us see what is our next pointer. The next pointer for past continuous tense is for scene setting. Now, this is used for writing. The students are requested to make a note of it, that when you are writing a story, for setting the scene, you need to use past continuous tense, an action that continued in the past. Past continuous tense is often used in storytelling, that is to set a scene or to describe a situation in the past. For example, it was a beautiful day. Was a beautiful day. The sun was shining and the birds were singing or chirping. Children were laughing and playing in the street. You can see that past continuous tense is used right through the construction or the beginning of the story to set the scene of the story. So, whenever you write a story, always use past continuous tense for scene setting. Let us proceed. The next pointer that we have is the past continuous and the past simple. Now, this is very important. When we construct sentences, we need to be very mindful of our understanding of the two tenses and how it is used. And when we are using a particular tense in the beginning part of the sentence, what impact does it create when we use some other tense in the sentence, and what is the overall meaning of it when we use the two tenses together. So when past continuous tense is used and in all of a sudden you want to use past simple, what does it mean? First of all, past continuous is the background action. Make a note it that it is a continuing background action. Background action means if you have a stage in the background, this action continues for a long duration. And the simple past is that next action which breaks or stops this continuous action. Let us understand it by reading the rule. When English uses the past continuous and past simple together, the past continuous describes a longer background action and the past simple describes a shorter action that interrupts the background action. Now, what do we mean? Let us look at one example so that we get a better understanding of a long-term action, an action that is continuous in the past, that is continuing in the past. We call it past continuous action, and the next action that interrupts it is a simple past. Let us see. I was taking a photo when a monkey grabbed my camera. I was taking, now this action continued in the past, so this was a background action or the continuous action, and then simple past interrupts this long continuous tense or the past continuous tense. A monkey grabbed my camera. This is the interrupting main action. So we have a background action. Background action is always in past continuous tense, and the interrupting action in the past is always in simple past tense. This is a very important pointer. Make a note of it. When you are writing stories, you need to construct sentences in this manner using your continuing background action and the short interrupting action. The continuing background action is a past continuous tense, and the interrupting tense is the simple past tense. Let us see a few sentence structures. He was sunbathing. So this is the continuous past continuous tense or the background action. And then let us see the short term action. When it started to rain, simple past tense. It started as simple past tense. I was mowing the lawn. It's a past continuous tense or the background action. When you called, that means the action stopped at that point. So simple past tense. She was sleeping when the phone rang. She was sleeping is the past continuous tense, the long action that continued in the past. When the phone rang is simple past or the interrupting tense or the action when the action was interrupted. So that is simple past tense. I was having a bath is past continuous tense, a long term action that continued in the past. When you knocked is simple past tense. That means this action interrupted or stopped the previous action. So long term background action is past continuous tense, and the interrupting action is always in simple past or a short term action. At this point, you're requested to construct sentences using a past continuous tense with an interrupting simple past tense so that you are well prepared for story writing. With this, we have come to the end of the video. I hope that you liked it. If you liked it, kindly click on like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much for your kind attention.